Welcome to an awesome Cyberpunk news update. So earlier today, the newest patch came out, 1.1, the first real patch. You know, all the others have been hot fixes to get the game stable and able to be played, right? So, what does this new actual patch mean for you? And should you return to Cyberpunk if you weren't playing, if you decided to leave before, right, and stop playing? Well, so we'll quickly go through some of the things it's done, right? They improved stability for different things, memory usage, various crash fixes, things like that, right? They fixed a bunch of open world quest things, a lot of stuff to do with Delamain. Apparently, there are issues with him on the phone, different issues with different characters on the phone throughout quest. Characters like Judy teleporting underground, fixed issues in other areas, talk more when called down on the street, so again, another call issue. Fixed an issue with Jackie. We'll quickly go through this so don't waste too much of your time. Alright, retro fix saves affected a rare issue where speaking to Judy in automatic love would be impossible due to an invisible wall, so they actually fixed that, retro fixed that, so you should be able to go back to that quest now and go through that wall and talk to her. Fixed an issue that prevented players from collecting the rewarding gig, freedom of the press. Another issue with Delamain, right? They fixed UI issues, they fixed some visual issues, they fixed some issues with achievements, they addressed issues responsible for saves getting oversized, right? That was already fixed, but I guess maybe they've fixed it even more, made it much, I guess maybe much larger. Anyway, fixed an issue where input could stop registering upon opening a weapon wheel and performing an action, which that sucks when that happens. So, fixed an issue where continue button in the main menu could load an in-game save. That's that's awesome. You can just go to the end of the game. I didn't know about that one. That's cool. PlayStation specific. So anyone on a PlayStation, your performance has been optimized for crowds and various crash fixes on the PlayStation 4. Xbox specific, improved memory usage for character creation, mirror scanning, camera remote control menus, some things that were slowing down the Xboxes. They've improved the memory usage so it should run a little bit better. Overall, the game runs at a few higher FPS from what the proof is saying, but it doesn't seem to have improved FPS that much. And there are a lot of bugs that came out with this patch. Of course, time you patch a game, you fix one thing, 100 other things could break. And then you have to figure out why and go back and fix all of those, so things will slip through the cracks, especially when they're working as fast as they are. So there's going to be bugs, right? PC specific, you can get achievements in offline mode for Steam and address the game startup crashes related to loading cache on NVIDIA graphics cards. That may be why a lot of people still couldn't play the game that had it. Then there's some Stadia stuff. If you play your game on Stadia, not much. Fix corrupted textures, tweak defaults. Concert audio. If you're playing on the console, I know they improved performance of crowds, but really, I mean, I'm on a PC and I can play with everything on maxed out, right? Maxed out everything, and I still turn the crowds down. The crowds don't add any real immersion to the game. Whether it's 10 people or 50 people, turn that down, right? You're gonna save performance. You're gonna save yourself the hassle of having to constantly fight cops because you missed a shot and killed somebody in the crowd. The crowds are not, to me, they don't add immersion. Maybe they do to you, and hey, if they do, then go for it. If it's worth the performance loss for crowds, then, go for it. I end up plowing through them in my car. It's just, for me, it's just not worth it, right? It doesn't add anything to the game for me, specifically. So, should you return to the game? So, if you didn't like the way the game was before, right, if you've tried it since they fixed all the issues with the previous hot fixes that got the game up and running for most people. If you came back to it since then and didn't like it, this isn't really adding anything new to the game. This is just more fixes. The game's still going to be the same. There's still going to be more things broken now that weren't broken before. Things fixed before. It's just, so the game isn't any different. So should you come back? Probably not. If you haven't played since they did the hot fixes, but you own the game, you might as well fire it up and give it a try. If you're waiting to buy the game, I would go ahead and wait until I see how patch 1.2 does. And probably wait really until they do the free DLC, because they should be adding a lot of new content. Well, the free DLC may be adding past stuff that helped out before the prologue during the introduction and stuff. So it should be better. I would definitely wait until then if you haven't bought the game. Wait till at least patch 1.2. But if you have the game, fire it up, give it a try.